What's up, guys? My name is Leif Arneson, and you're listening to episode 65 of the Vegan Gym Podcast. My brother and I are vegan fitness coaches and bodybuilders who started this podcast as part of our mission to show the world that vegans are strong, healthy, compassionate badasses who are leading the charge against chronic disease, animal abuse, and climate change. We've had the opportunity to help thousands of vegans reach their fitness goals, but we're just getting started. Our goal is to help 1 million vegans get into the best shape of their lives. So if you believe in challenging the status quo and showing the world how badass veganism really is, then this podcast is for you. With that, I'd like to introduce my brother, my co-host for this podcast, Anders. What's going on, man?
Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome to another episode. How long has it been since our last one? 2 weeks?
It's been about a week and a half. I think so.
Yeah, it's been insane.
Yeah.
I feel like we say this every single time, but we've had major breakthroughs in the last 2 weeks, which has been fantastic.
Yeah, it just seems like there's always so much to do. Like, I absolutely
We always keep on opening new doors.
Yeah, man, I love sitting down and recording podcasts. I love sharing that with people. I feel like this is probably kind of my most kind of natural medium, my kind of preferred medium for kind of content creation and stuff.
Yeah.
I just enjoy doing it, and I'm not so good on video, and I guess I'm decent at writing, but I just really like doing podcasts. But anyways, we have been so incredibly busy that it's been really tough to just kind of stay on top of it. And
that's because we learned so much in Denver. From our networking event that we went out there, our conference, it was just awesome, all the stuff that we learned, and we just want to be implementing all of it. So it feels like
we come back and we're just like, get it done, implement, action, get it done. And one of those huge pieces is content creation. So we definitely need to get back in the groove, and we will be getting back in the groove. I promise you guys, there are just things that we need to kind of build up in terms of just kind of creating momentum for various projects and just getting that rolling. So once we launch some cool stuff at the beginning of next year, things are kind of already rolling, and
everything will be
momentum
set in place.
Just takes over.
Yeah.
So anyways, with that being said,
this is a great
how have
topic.
You been, man?
This is a great topic for today that we're going to be talking about.
It is.
Though.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about accountability, but first, how have things been going?
Well, like I said, pretty busy, but great. It's from our trip to Colorado. It's always weird. That's actually the longest travel I've ever taken, besides my deployment. You know, besides that, I wouldn't really call that a trip. Because like we had.
Would you call it vacation?
Yeah, not even close. But so Colorado was like work and pleasure, so we were like balancing a few different things. We did the half Ironman, and
was that work or pleasure?
Both.
Yeah.
I mean, it was enjoyable.
Yeah.
But so we were just like dabbling in so many different things, and our schedule was completely out of whack. And then the conference definitely completely screwed that up. But coming back into our element in our apartment has been fantastic. Again, being back at our home gym at McMillan's Training Systems, awesome place. Love being back there with my deadlifting bar. And so we've just been working pretty much the
amazing,
past
like,
2 weeks.
Once you take some time like away from home or away from your gym, you realize like how much you actually miss those places.
Right. Yeah.
And like the gym in particular that we go to, McMillan's, it's just the most amazing gym I think I've ever been to, and it's just like,
and the gym that we went to in Colorado was complete garbo.
Yeah, well,
the owner was super nice.
The owner was super cool for its location, which was in Bailey, Colorado,
8,200 feet
in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, at 8,200 feet in elevation. It actually was a pretty competent gym, like super small, but it had all the basics that you need, and the owner was super cool. But still, it's like I could not function with that being my home gym. If it had to be, I wouldn't have excuses, and I would make it happen. But still, it's just so nice to be home.
Right. If I lived up there, I would have my own home gym. So that's
what
I would do.
I think that would be a necessity. But that could be pretty cool too.
But to answer your question, in the past 2 weeks, what's really been going on is like I said, we had some breakthroughs. But as far as like personally, I picked up Norwegian. I'm learning Norwegian right now, which is pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Good dog, which is good day. It's like it's moving up.
So you learn one word.
So to say I know a little Norwegian, it's Jeg forstår ikke norsk. I understand little Norwegian.
Well, I know zero Norwegian. That sounded pretty legit.
So
hopefully no one who actually speaks Norwegian.
You guys
is
can
listening.
critique me, reach out and say that's complete garbage honors.
Yeah. Well, you're working on it. That's what matters.
But other than that, it's just been work, working out. So it's really getting back into our routine that we were in before our trip.
Yeah.
And that's what I was kind of getting at, is really getting back into the swing of things. Even though like you're happy to be home, it's so hard to really get back into that rhythm that you were in before a trip, especially with how crazy our timing and scheduling, because we were catering to everyone around us in Colorado. So and that's part of kind of like this conversation that we have today.
Yeah, that's actually a perfect transition to what we're talking about today. So the title of this podcast, I think it's going to be The Glue That Ties Commitment to the Result. And that comes from a famous quote by the legendary Bob Proctor, who said, "Accountability is the glue that ties commitment to the result." So accountability is absolutely crucial. Like having accountability in whatever area of life you really want to kind of excel at, really kind of progress. It is so incredibly important. That is why accountability is one of our 3 pillars of lasting fitness transformation. So if you've been listening to the podcast for any length of time, you know that we have 3 pillars to transforming your body, transforming your life. And those are mindset, strategy, and accountability. So accountability is kind of that big piece that lots of people tend to leave out when they are trying to accomplish fitness goals.
Yeah.
People get so wrapped up in what diet should I follow, or how much protein should I be eating at 7:30 p.m. every night.
Timing.
Or it's like all these questions that just get so granular into like the little details. Yeah. And those can matter. Like those do have an effect, and those can be valid questions. But are you really kind of focusing on these 3 pillars before you just like dial in on strategy and just go like absolutely crazy with like all the little details and trying to hammer out all these little things? It seems like most people use kind of that as an excuse. Yeah. They'll just say, oh, well, I don't know the exact right diet for my body type to accomplish this goal, and I'm not sure how many grams of carbohydrates I should be eating on Mondays every single week, so I don't know how to like to achieve my goals.
No, you're definitely right. People obsess over the strategy, which is really, it comes down to the nutrition side, like you've been saying, and the exercise, and the training side of things, and people.
And don't get me wrong, that is critically important.
It is. Yes, if you're not in caloric deficit, you're not going to shred fat, and if you're not in caloric surplus, you're not going to build muscle. Yes, like that is, the strategy is extremely important. But the thing that holds you to that strategy is that dialed-in mindset and that accountability. If you don't have the 2 others, and that's why we say the 3-pillar coaching, guys. If you don't have all 3 of these, you are not going to be as successful as you possibly can be. Yeah. You're not going to be efficient, and most likely, if you don't have all 3, you're going to fall off track.
Yeah.
And that's why accountability is so incredibly important.
Yeah, kind of the key word of that phrase, the 3 pillars of lasting fitness transformation, is the word lasting. Because if you just have a decent strategy, you can get good short-term results. We see that all the time. But the problem with the weight loss industry is not that people can't lose weight, it's that they can't keep it off and maintain momentum towards accomplishing kind of their longer-term goals. That's where having the right mindset and having accountability come in. So, just like you were saying, in us kind of getting off track, we came back from Denver, had an awesome time. The time zone isn't that much different, but
it's only 2 hours.
It's 2 hours, but still it throws us off a little bit, especially because we've been on that schedule for 3 weeks.
Well, and like some nights we'd stay up till 1 a.m. Some nights it was crazy.
Yeah, we were trying to spend time with family and stuff, but still get work done. So we work during the day, spend time with family at night, and it's not really an optimal schedule. We had an awesome time, but it's not an optimal schedule for really kind of building momentum towards accomplishing our goals, both professionally in our business, but also kind of with our fitness and maintaining that momentum. So I got back from Denver, and for about the first week that we were back, we just kind of went to the gym whenever we
felt like it.
Whenever we kind of like felt like we had the time or something. We slept in a little bit to like 7 or even 8 a.m., which is stupid. I know that's not what I want to be doing, and it's not optimal for my schedule. I hate waking up and feeling like I'm already behind.
Yeah.
That's the worst feeling ever. So I knew that I wanted to start nailing my morning routine again, and I tried it for a day and kind of got back on track. But then,
like, holy crap, this is harder than I thought.
Yeah, but then you had stayed up late the night before, so then you don't get that much sleep. You try the morning routine, then you're not productive during the day, and then you it just snowballs into kind of a mess. So I really wanted to start nailing my routine again, but it wasn't working. Like, I wasn't getting back into the groove kind of by my own power. And I know I could have eventually gotten there, but I wasn't getting there fast enough, and I wanted to just kind of make that transition right away. So so we have this super awesome group for our online coaching program, the Vegan Superhero Academy. We have a private Facebook group, and that's where we kind of stay connected.
No community is better.
Yeah, I mean, the community is absolutely amazing, and we get probably more out of that community than even our clients.
Right.
But we're all just kind of supporting each other, encouraging each other, and it's just amazing. And I'm so grateful to have that community. And I wrote in one of my recent messages, this was on my recent post, this was on August 30th, I said, all right, I've got a confession. My morning routine sucks right now. During our Colorado trip and the past 2 weeks we've been home, I've gotten way off my ideal schedule. And that's dumb. I'm so much more productive and happy when I'm crushing my schedule. And I went on to say, I could just tell all of you awesome people that things are going to change, and I know that they would eventually, but I don't want to mess up one more single day, so I'm going to get to the gym first thing every day for the next 30 days starting tomorrow. So that was starting tomorrow, that was August 31st. And to prove it all to you, I'm going to be going live in our Facebook group, in the Vegan Superhero Academy Facebook group, at the gym by 6 a.m. every single day. So that's like massive accountability. And I was like, I am going to show up every single day, and to prove it, I'm going to go live in this Facebook group at the gym every single morning at 6 a.m. So there is no way to fake that. You can't just like wake up and say, post
time
like
machine.
Yeah, you can't post like, oh, I'm at the gym now. You have to actually be at the gym if you're going to go live. So I just wanted to give myself zero way out. And I also wanted to put a little bit more kind of on the line to make sure that I showed up. And I said, for any day that I miss during the next 30 days, I will donate $50 to our local animal farm sanctuary. Plus, everyone in the group is going to know, which is also tons of accountability. I hate letting people down, and I definitely don't want to do that to any of our clients. I want to, if anything, provide inspiration to them and show them, hey, I am getting in the gym and putting in the work every single day as well. We expect you to do the same thing, and there's just kind of a mutual expectation of kind of crushing our goals. So
I love the form of accountability of putting money on the line, because no one likes to to lose money, even if it's for a really good cause. It like holds you accountable to like I do that for certain tasks with our business, and Ashley knows, our head coach for the Vegan Superhero Academy. I tell her, I was like, hey, hold me accountable today. I need to get this done.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Oh, it makes a ton of difference. And I
definitely have spent quite a bit of money before.
Well, it's always good to kind of have it be to a good cause, something like an animal farm sanctuary. And so if I did actually miss a day, in terms of like paying the money, I wouldn't really feel bad at all. I would actually feel pretty good about that.
You just be upset yourself.
But I would be upset for breaking the promise to myself and most importantly to our clients. So that is where I have decided to build in massive accountability. And I am happy to say that this morning was day number 8 of my 8-day streak now. Woo-hoo! And I have every intention of getting to the full 30 days. And by the end of that point...
I have a question for you, actually.
Yeah, what's that?
A lot of people do ask us how... Like, it's so difficult to get into a morning routine, and they want to get in a morning routine. And correct me if I'm wrong, it sucks, right? It sucks the first few days because you're extremely tired.
It usually does, yeah. If you don't get to bed at the right time to kind of start the whole kind of ball rolling, then, yeah, it can be really tough.
And so day 8, how does it feel now getting up in the morning? Is it easy or compared to the first day?
Oh, it's significantly easier. Okay. Like, it always gets easier when you start doing the things that you don't really want to do. Like, I haven't gotten up any morning at 5 a.m. and thought, like, wow, I'm really, like, psyched to be up right now. Like, I'm not really at that point. I actually have been at that point in the past where it's just like, wow, I feel great. I'm ready to go. Let's just crush it. I'm not really at that point yet, so I'm still kind of going on that kind of struggle streak a little bit, but it definitely gets easier, and it's very noticeably easier from day to day.
Yeah.
But it really comes down to just starting the whole process off on the right foot. So your day is going to start the night before. That's something I like to say. It's like your day starts the night before, so if you mess up the night before, you've already messed up your day. So if you have trouble getting up at 5 a.m., then go to bed at 8. And if you don't fall asleep right away, well, maybe you fall asleep by 9 or something, and then you still get a full 8 hours. You go 9 to 5, you got your 8 hours, and that's enough sleep.
Right.
In fact, for most people, that's probably more than you need.
There's a ton of sleep.
And it's just gonna work. But if you stay up and watch Netflix or watch some movie or go out drinking with friends and then have the intention of starting a new routine the next morning or sticking with your kind of morning routine, it's not gonna work out well.
Right.
The most difficult day was actually, what was it? I guess two mornings ago. Whenever we went the day after we went to go see the Piano Guys.
Okay. Yeah, we were up till like 11 p.m. or something.
Yeah, that
like
was
night.
Thursday, I guess. So, 2 days ago on Friday, I had a lot of trouble getting up because I was running on less than 5 hours of sleep. So that was kind of difficult, but then I pushed through and I fell asleep a lot earlier the next night because I was a little sleep deprived, and that made kind of the next morning easier.
Right.
So yeah, there can be roadblocks, especially if you're continuing to kind of make poor decisions with your evenings.
Right.
But once you get over that, once you can nail kind of your evening routine, it makes the morning routine thing pretty easy.
Well, there you have it, guys. That's what you need to do.
Yeah. Yeah, easier said than done. I know. I've been through that. I am going through that. I'm on day 8 of kind of trying to get back on schedule. So I know it's not necessarily an easy thing to do, but I'm a firm believer that if it matters enough to you, you're going to follow through and do it. If you have not built in a strong enough reason why you actually need to change, you're not going to change, or the change is going to be short term. And it definitely helps to have tons of accountability around you. That's why I made that post in the group. And there have been mornings in the last 8 days where I would not have gotten to the gym, particularly that day after we went to go see the Piano Guys. I would have not gone to the gym by 6 a.m. unless I had made this post and built up that accountability, built up that expectation that I'm going to do this, or else you guys are all going to know, and I'm going to donate $50 to the sanctuary, which actually would be a cool thing, as I said. But just knowing that I let people down, that is enough motivation to just kind of force myself to not do that. So I've also, I think it's important to realize that we have also been lifting on a consistent basis for the last 10 years for probably an average of about 5 days per week.
Yeah.
And that really has not changed. There have been,
you saying it like that, it sounds kind of like crazy.
yeah, there have been a few weeks that we've taken off due to injury or illness or otherwise, maybe vacation or something. There have been a few weeks that we've taken off almost completely, but we've still been lifting probably an average of 5 days per week over the last 10 years. Many weeks, we're getting to the gym 6 days a week. And for the next 30 days, I'm doing 7 days a week.
Yeah.
And I might continue that. I'm not going hard like 7 days in a row, just as a brief aside. So I do kind of build in active recovery days through that process. Like today, I didn't really go hard. I was just doing kind of a core workout, doing some abs and a little bit of lower back. But anyways, I just want to say, like, we have been doing this like consistently for 10 years, but I still don't trust myself to always be accountable. I still build in accountability. I use workout partners. I use coaches. I've hired personal trainers in the past and fitness coaches. I hold myself accountable by telling people, like our clients in our Vegan Superhero Academy Facebook group, hey, I'm going to get to the gym over the next 30 days at 6 a.m. because I don't trust myself to be accountable to myself. And I definitely like trust myself to get stuff done, but for this particular thing, like I know I would give myself a little too much slack unless I really built in that accountability. So, and as we've said, like we've been hitting our workouts since we got to Denver.
Yeah.
So it's like even when we were in Denver, we were still getting our workouts done, but they would be at random times throughout the day, just like they were in the 2 weeks when we got back from Denver. So that just really kind of brings chaos to my schedule, and that chaos is completely unwelcome.
Right.
I do not want chaos in my daily schedule. I want structure, and I want to start my day off on the right foot. I know starting my day off on the right foot is getting up at 5 a.m. It's making my bed. It's having a pre-workout protein shake. It's getting to the gym, getting my workout done, getting back, showered, and getting ready to crush work at 8 a.m. Mm-hmm. Like that is an ideal schedule for me. So every day that I don't do that, I am falling behind my potential because I know that I'm not building as much momentum as I possibly could be.
Yeah.
So, so that's kind of the first thing that I really committed to. And speaking of the Piano Guys, we went to go see the Piano Guys on Thursday,
Which was fantastic.
they are so freaking good.
If you guys don't know them, just go to YouTube,
Yeah.
watch and search the Piano Guys.
Yeah.
Their music videos are insanely good.
I've been watching them, following them since I guess my sophomore year of college. So that was 2012. So I've been watching them almost from the beginning, and they have never disappointed me whatsoever. All their videos, it seems like they're just leveling up kind of their performance, and also just like the environment they're in and stuff. It's like they have the most beautiful videos, and they're just phenomenally talented.
If you want to see a dude play piano 1,000 feet in the air, go to their YouTube channel.
Yeah, they have some
They're
crazy,
like on the edge of a cliff.
right. That one is particularly good. There's I forget the singer's name.
He's an African singer, and it's like a takeoff of Coldplay Paradise.
Yeah. It's called Peponi.
Peponi.
And it is so incredibly good. The singer is unbelievable. Everything's unbelievable. I was like a huge like Piano Guys like fanboy. But anyways, we went to go see them live. They came to Lancaster, and that was just so incredibly cool. They are just as good live as they are on YouTube,
Yep.
and that's no surprise whatsoever to me because I know that they are legitimately talented. But anyways, it's they really kind of inspired me to get back to drumming, to really focus on drumming. And I've never really talked about this on the podcast, but I absolutely love playing drums, a drum set. and I've been playing for. I guess I started kind of when I was like 14ish, so I guess it's been like, I don't know, almost 14 years.
Yeah.
I've been playing for like half my life. But it's been, especially in the last
the
like
moment when Leif realizes he's
Yeah.
old.
yeah, I'm actually my birthday is coming up pretty
Yeah.
soon. I'm about to turn 28, and yeah.
But anyway,
see-
with the concert, I know exactly the moment that you realized I need to get back into the drums.
What was that?
Because I forget the cellist's name.
Stephen Sharp Nelson.
Stephen Sharp Nelson. He, between two songs, he took a moment and he was like, all right, where are all the kids in this room that play an instrument? And I was like, clap as loud as you can. And you just hear the room light up with noise. He's like, this is awesome. You are my peeps. And he's like, he went on to say, I know I've been where you are currently, and I know how hard it is to keep on working at an instrument and having the feeling that you're not progressing at all. And he was like, but I tell you what, you have to stick to it. You have to keep practicing because you're going to reflect back on this your journey and be like, wow, I've come so far and I'm so glad I kept up with this.
Yeah.
And so essentially he was talking about accountability too and like consistency with instrument wise. And I feel like even not just kids, but all the adults in the room, it doesn't matter whether it was an instrument or something else. Everyone thought of something that they were like, I need to start doing that again.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like a bone-chilling moment because it was just completely silent, and then everyone just uproared and clapping and applause.
Yeah.
And then
I don't think bone chilling is the right explanation, but I think we all understand what you're saying.
yeah, maybe it's not.
No.
But it
was incredibly inspiring.
yeah, like goosebump moment. That's
Yeah.
what I'll say.
It wasn't like a horror scene.
I meant like goosebumps. But
Yeah.
anyway, like there was this moment where it was just dead silent, and then you heard a few claps, and then it was just uproar, and
Yeah.
it was really really cool because I mean it's such truth. It's like if you just need to stay consistent, just like you getting up in the morning, and you just need to have people to hold you accountable to stick to that consistent routine, and
Yeah.
that's what made you inspired to get back into the drums.
Yeah. And that's exactly right. That was
Was
really,
it the moment?
I think it was just a combination of seeing them in person and
Yeah.
realizing like this is a culmination of decades of just focus and mastery
Yeah.
of music. I think it was just a kind of a culmination of the entire performance
Combined with enjoyment.
But that kind of that thing that he said
Yeah.
was really really
I think
inspiring.
it resonated with everybody.
Yeah, so anyways, I've absolutely loved drums, been playing for half my life, but it's been honestly kind of off and on. Like I'm decent, but I am not where I should be for having 14 years of experience.
Yeah.
And that's because I really don't have 14 years of experience because I've been kind of doing an off and on thing because I went through college and I've been like working a lot over the last 5 years and stuff. So anyways, like, but I absolutely love playing the drums, and I realized, hey, I need to like kind of recommit to this as well. It's like life isn't all about fitness and business and stuff. Like for me, that's a huge part of my life, and I absolutely love focusing on those things, and they bring me true joy. But drumming is one of my favorite things in the world to do,
Right.
and depriving myself of that is really counterproductive, like to kind of building a kind of wholesome life. So I think it's just so incredibly important to make time for doing the stuff that you love to do. And I've been working so much that I haven't made playing the drums a priority, and that needs to change. So I've been kind of telling myself this over the last few months, actually, like, hey, you really need to sit down and practice for at least 30 minutes a day and really kind of like focus on actually accomplishing something and not just trying to play songs and stuff like that. Try to actually focus on kind of building your drum skill and vocabulary. So to actually kind of hold myself accountable, I just signed up for drum lessons, and I did that yesterday, and I have my first drum lesson this coming Wednesday. And I've taken drum lessons before. I've actually taken them from this same guy. His name is Jason, and he's a super cool dude. But I haven't been taking lessons in the last 2 years, and my playing has not improved at all. In fact, it's deteriorated a little bit in the last 2 years. And I mean, that's obvious why. It's like I haven't been focusing on it, haven't been making it a priority, haven't been putting in the work. And if you don't do those things, you're not going to make progress and you're not going to become better. So I know what I want to accomplish. You know what you want to accomplish. And if you haven't been putting in the work, it's because you do not have the right source or sources of accountability. This is absolutely incredibly important. Like I have just recommitted to my morning routine, to nailing kind of my fitness routine every morning, and also recommitted to kind of building accountability when it comes to something I'm super passionate about. And I think that's so incredibly important for us to all do. Like I could say, hey, Leif, we're going to sit down and play drums for 30 minutes a day. And most days I can do that and I can get that done. Haven't been, but I could if I really made that a priority. But I want to have the accountability behind that as well. It's like, I know this is something that I want to do. So I am going to force myself to do it by holding myself accountable. And it's not like I'm going to hate the process. I'm going to absolutely love doing that and focusing on that. But I need to force myself to do it. Allow myself the time to do it by forcing myself to do it. If that makes sense.
And like this morning, you were saying you're utilizing this drum coach. Drum teacher.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to let him down, and that's such a powerful form of accountability. It's like, sure, he's going to teach you some things along the way, but the biggest reason why you're setting a certain time per week is for you to keep up on your own outside of that, and so you don't let him down, and you keep progressing yourself. And that's a huge benefit, like a huge thing to your advantage. Is to have someone that makes sure and checks in on you on a daily basis, and make sure, or a weekly basis, and make sure that you're doing all the things that you need to be doing.
Yeah. When I was a teenager and was taking music lessons, drum lessons, I was actually more stressed by heading to drum practice knowing that I had not put in any substantial amount of work than I would be for like a test in school. because I had such an awesome connection with my drum coach, and I just hated letting him down. That was worse than doing poorly on a test, because I was just like, this is a one-on-one lesson. I'm going to be there for an hour, and it's going to be immediately obvious to this professional drummer that I have not put in the work to make myself better from last week, because he gave me a certain number of he gave me a certain lesson to follow or a certain thing to practice.
Yeah, there's no way to BS that.
I cannot possibly BS that. And I don't know, it didn't seem as bad if I went in and didn't do well on a test, which honestly was pretty rare. I was kind of a nerd, but even
I think that's more my approach.
Yeah, but like even the few tests that I didn't do well on, it's like it didn't hurt as much as kind of letting down my drum teacher. So I mean, the same thing goes with with our coaching clients, like not wanting to let them down in our academy Facebook group. So it's like, find ways to hold yourself accountable to do the things that you know you need to do to achieve the goals that you want to achieve in life. So again, I'll bring up Bob Proctor's quote. He says, accountability is the glue that ties commitment to the results. So if you're listening to this podcast, you have some level of commitment. And you might just be starting on your fitness journey. You might be years or decades down the road, but you have some level of commitment and you have a desired result. If you haven't defined that clearly, that's really important, but you have some idea of what that result is. So to get from where you are here in this moment with the commitment that you have to achieving the goals and the desired results that you want to achieve, commitment is going to be that glue that holds both of those things together. So take the time to build that commitment. If it comes down to kind of building up accountability in your fitness, find a coach, find a workout partner, find family and friends to hold you accountable. Tell them what you're going to do and ask them to check in with you, to hold you accountable. Have people around you who know what you're trying to accomplish and will hold you accountable, not people who will pat you on the back when you said you didn't do what you were going to do and say, it's all right, Jimmy, like, don't worry about it. It doesn't matter. I don't achieve my goals either. Like, whatever.
Calling out all Jimmys.
Yeah, whatever his or her name is. So that's, just think that's so important, like building accountability. Even if you are 10 years down the road in your fitness journey, which we both are, we are still actively building in accountability around our goals, because if we didn't have that, we wouldn't be progressing at 100%. We'd be down somewhere in the, 70 or 80% range. And that is unacceptable, because I know I have massive potential when it comes to my fitness, when it comes to business, when it comes to my drumming. I know that I have potential, and that's largely untapped because there's just so much more stuff that I want to accomplish. So, that's accountability. That's the importance of accountability. And I think that's going to be a wrap for this episode. Do you have anything else?
Yeah. So I love that you say that after 10 years of us lifting, it really doesn't get easier mentally. It's you just find ways to combat those roadblocks, combat those that yearning to be comfortable, that type of thing. And it's so important, guys. It's like, you're not broken. Like, nothing's wrong with you. Everyone has those same thoughts. Everyone wants to not put in the work. Like, our brains just want to be comfortable. And so surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals that understand your goals, that help push you forward, that encourage you and support you, is so incredibly important.
Yeah. I'm glad you said that. One more thing. Having accountability around you is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength.
Hell yeah.
And that is an incredibly important distinction, because I see a lot of people who think that they are too good for building accountability around them, who think that that is for weak-minded people who can't do it on their own. And yeah, it is important to have mental grit and to have kind of that warrior mindset that we've talked about in other podcasts, to have kind of the mindset of somebody who never gives up and will do anything required to accomplish their goals. But still, even if you have that, and I think Anders and I are pretty well on our path to kind of, I would say I have a
killer mental strength.
Yeah,
you know?
I think we're doing pretty well in that department, but we're still building in accountability around us, because we know that is a strength, that's not a weakness. So, thank you guys so much for listening to this episode. If you found value in this episode, please take a minute right now to share this episode with a friend. And we would also really, really appreciate you leaving a review.
It takes 2 minutes.
It takes 2 minutes to share the podcast.
2 minutes
and
to show
leave
some
a review.
love.
It's super easy. And we've been growing so quickly because all of you guys have been doing your part to share our message. And when I say our message, I don't just mean Anders and myself. I mean you too. This is our kind of combined message. This is really kind of a movement that we're all trying to push. So we're super grateful for all of the support you guys have shown us. And I have a feeling, well, I don't have a feeling, I know that you know someone, whether it's a friend, a family member, a coworker, whoever, you know someone who needs to hear this episode, who needs to understand that accountability is the glue that ties the commitment to the result. So this podcast episode could be the exact thing that they need to hear at this very moment in their life. So please help us to help them by telling them about the podcast, by sharing this episode, by leaving a review. And if you do share it online, be sure to tag us. We would love to thank you personally. And until next time, keep challenging the freaking status quo.